Hi, my name is Frank DeVito, and I want to welcome you to the .htaccess portion of our learning series. Now, a lot of people haven't even heard of the .htaccess file, no less gone ahead and used them to help improve their search engine rankings and their website spidability, but it's probably one of the most important files that you could have on your website. Fortunately, I've made it as easy as pie for you to go ahead and create the .htaccess file and set it up so it's working for your website's advantage. What I'm going to do is first show you some of the reasons why you have to have this file on your website. If you went to Google and typed in CANONICAL, or canonical, and did a Google search, you'll see that there's 48 million pages over here that will love to talk to you till you're blue in the face about canonical. What I want to do is I want to show you what the problem is, explain a little bit about it, show you how to fix it, and move you on to the next step. If you want to come back and read the 48 million pages on your own time, God bless you. I could give you a couple of other things that you'd probably want to do, though. But anyhow, if I go ahead and go to talkabouthunting.com, and I haven't put the www dot in on purpose, you can see that it just went ahead and took me to the home page of Talk About Hunting, and it stayed without the www over there. Now if I went ahead and typed in www.talkabouthunting.com and hit enter, it brought me to the same exact page. Now that may not seem like a problem, but here's the problem that the search engines are having. They see each address as a separate address, meaning the talkabouthunting.com is a different address than the www.talkabouthunting.com. And all of the pages that are underneath it are all different. Some have a www. Some don't. And what happens is when the search engines are spidering your site, they'll see those two pages as duplicate content. They're different addresses, so it doesn't see it as the same page, but it does see the content on both of those pages, and it throws off a duplicate content filter. This is very bad. Another problem that you have is some sites might link to your site and link to yourdomain.com, and the other ones might link to www.yourdomain.com. Now, we know that there's such a thing called link popularity, where sites that are linking to your site help boost your site's rankings by having links to it. Well, when you have them going to these two separate addresses, so to say, you dilute your link popularity. So if all of them are going to the same exact place, you would have a higher page ranking for that particular page in most cases. So now, what are you going to do to fix this? Well, again, it's the .htaccess file, and I've included an example of it for you to use. The first step in resolving this issue is to go ahead and copy the first 6 lines right over here. I'm going to go ahead and take them, and I'll show you. I'm going to paste them into Notepad. And then what you want to do is where it says your domain, don't mess with the /.com. You want to put in whatever domain you're going to go ahead and upload this file to. So TALKABOUTHUNTING. Spelling is really important. You'd be surprised how misspelling the domain name could render this file useless. So I'm going to go ahead, and in both instances I went ahead and put the Talk About Hunting. I'm going to go ahead and click on Save over here, and it will save that file. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my file manager, where I actually upload files to my directory. Some people use WSFTP Pro, whichever method works for you, as long as you get the file, it's right there, to the root of your server. So I just went ahead and copied it, and if I scroll down now I can see it's over here. I can take a peek at the file and see that, yep, it looks like the file. Now what will happen? If I go ahead, I'm going to see if it works in the same browser. I'm going to go ahead and take out the www and hit enter, and it didn't work, which sometimes you need to just load a new browser. So if we go to talkabouthunting.com and hit enter, you can see now that it took us to the www.talkabouthunting.com. Also, when you're testing these files, remember that if you go ahead and use the same browser, sometimes it doesn't do the refresh, so you want to actually close that browser out and launch a new browser for your tests. So you can see now that, lo and behold, everything is working beautiful. It's going ahead and it only sees the one www, which is the way it should be. Now, there's some more wonderful things that we can go ahead and do with our htaccess file. And one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to download.com right now. If you're looking at trying some new software, it really is a great source to come to find some programs. I'm going to go ahead and type in htaccess. Helps if I spell that right too. htaccess. And hit enter or do a search. Let it load. And there's a couple of programs that it brings up that can do a lot of things, but I like this one called htaccessible. You can see that the license is free and it's a full version. Some of these that you download would actually only go ahead and give you a trial version, so to say, that really doesn't work. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to save that file, and we'll go ahead and save it. It copies pretty quickly. Then we're going to go ahead and run it. We're going to go ahead and click run, and next we want to accept their license agreement. Click next, 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 install. And the program's installed that quickly, and we're going to go ahead and launch it. So we've talked about going ahead and solving the canonical issue. Now, some of the other things that you'll be able to work on, and this program actually makes it easier for you to create these files, are error documents. And you can see there's 400s, 401s. Actually, it goes through 400 all the way to 505 errors. We went ahead and in our htaccess file we included some of the most important ones. And basically what will happen is if someone goes ahead and let's say that they try to request a page on your website that is not available, they typed it in wrong, it's going to go ahead, and that's known as a 400 error code, and it's literally going to go ahead and give you the option of saying if someone actually types in the wrong page of a website, we want them to go ahead and get this message. And you can actually create another page in your website. This one's called badrequest.html in the errors folder that will go ahead and display and say you've typed in the bad URL. Maybe you want to go to our sitemap to read this. Another one might be the 401, which means you have to have authorization. Authorization is required. Or 403 is a forbidden error where they may be trying to get into a password protected. 404 is not found, where they haven't found that page. It'll come up with a 404 error. Or 500 will give you a server error. But by going ahead and using htaccessible, you can actually look through these different error codes, and then you can actually set your own error page. So let's say your error page for the forbidden private area that somebody couldn't go to was in a folder in your domain called files, and it was called forbidden.htm. You name the file and click on OK. What it's just done is it's gone ahead and created for you the code, or the one line of text that will need to be added to your .htaccess file in order to go ahead and resolve that issue for someone. So those are some very good codes here that you want to go ahead and add to your site. And I would do the 400, 401, 403, 404, and 500 codes over here to start. And what you can basically do is just create a folder on your website. You can call it errors if you want, and then you can name your pages after here, and you'll definitely be helping people who come to your site and type in the wrong domain. Now, another reason why I went ahead and used an old domain is to show you another problem that happens. Now, we talked about that duplicate content filter and how those duplicate pages were coming up. If I type in site:"talkabouthunting.com" in Google, so site:, I can see that there's 186 pages right up here that Google has found about Talk About Hunting, and it actually shows me all of the pages. Well, if I scroll down, I only got number 2 over here. Let me see what that happens. Look at this. It pulled up 11 of the pages. It's saying that 175 pages have been omitted because they have similar content. The content is very similar. So Google doesn't like to list those as much. Well, if I click on over here, I can actually repeat the same search, but I can actually see the omitted pages. And let me just bounce over to here for a second, number 8. And I can see, okay, well, here's a page that they've omitted that was, guides and Canada.htm. Well, let's say that I went ahead and moved this page. Instead of it being at guides.canada.htm, it's at huntingguides.canada.htm. What I can do is I can go to my htaccess file, and here are 3 different commands or lines that I can go ahead and use that will go ahead and help to tell the search engines where those pages really are. So I'm going to go ahead and let's say that I actually moved the entire domain. The new domain, it was talkabouthunting.com, but for some reason I'm no longer doing talkabouthunting.com. I've got a website called huntingnews.com. Well, I can do what's known as a redirect 301. And just by putting this line redirect 301 and this slash right here, it tells the search engines when they come to this site, or human beings for that matter, that when it gets to here, you want them to go to here from now on. And literally that will go ahead and move the person directly over, and it's telling the search engines that it's a permanent redirection. Some other reasons why you would use this is, let's say that you went ahead and you purchased your company domain name .com, and then you also purchased the .nets and the .orgs and a couple of other extensions, or you might have purchased misspellings of your domain names or keyword-rich domain names. Well, what you can go ahead and do is on those domains, let's say it was the .net, your company domain .net, you could go ahead and just add one line right here to your htaccess file. And basically you're going to redirect all of the traffic that might come to that domain, or that does come to that domain, to go to the actual domain that you want them to. Now, another instance is where I was just talking about the directory. Let's say I had a directory where I had everything guides. Over here I had guides. But I went ahead and I heard that, having my full keywords in my directory would be more helpful. So I went ahead and moved all those pages to hunting_guides. Well, what would happen right now if the search engines came and they were looking for a page on my website that was in the folder guides called, let's say, Colorado Guides? It would automatically redirect them to the new directory. I can take this one step further and actually take a page. So let's say I have a page on my website that's called Alaska.htm, and I want to go ahead and from now on, if someone goes to alaska.htm, I want them to go to the new Alaska page .htm. This will go ahead and take them directly to it. So if there are websites out there that have links to the alaska.htm page, they'll automatically go to the new Alaska page. So this goes ahead and saves you so much time and so much trouble. Now, the last thing I really want to talk about here is once you've gone ahead and uploaded your htaccess file, you want to go ahead and test it and make sure that it's working properly. So what you're going to do is you're not going to ever use this code in your htaccess file here as an example, but you want to go to Google and type in server header checker. So we're going to bounce on over to Google. I can go right here and type in server header. Give it a chance. Server header checker, and Google actually showed as a suggestion. And here's just one of the free checkers. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the link. It's just search engine SEO consultants. I'm going to go ahead and type in talkabouthunting.com. Okay, remember how we changed it? Well, when I hit enter, what happened, it just went ahead and looked at that htaccess file, and it came back with this results. Server responds to http://talkabouthunting.com. That page status has been permanently moved. We're not trying to fool the search engines, we're moving it. And it has moved to www.talkabouthunting.com. Okay, so we've got the right message over here. It's saying that that page was moved, 301, moved permanently. Then server 2, which is the same server in this case, www.talkabouthunting.com, comes back with a 200 OK. So here it was saying that this page is no longer a valid page. It's actually www.talkabouthunting.com. It went and checked it and said yes, it is. So this is the exact results that we want to go ahead and see. And again, I found this program by just going in and typing in server header checker, and there's a bunch of them out there on the internet. They're all free that will let you go ahead and test it. So if you do set up a redirect for a certain page or a certain directory, all you have to do is enter that page or that directory path here. Make sure the server header checker comes back with the exact description, like the 301 that has been moved and the 200 that has been found successfully, and you're definitely on your way to having a happy search engine friendly website. This is Frank DeVito. Hope you appreciated this video. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email our support team. Thanks and have a great day.